Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. All right, so we're gonna do a quick fix. You guys have this issue with Hondas and Acuras, and well, it actually could extend to other manufacturers, but let's talk about this. All right, so basically, if this happened at any time, you get into your vehicle, you try to start it, and you hear a buzzing sound. All right, it's not a crank sound, it's not a clicking sound, it's a buzzing sound. Now let me tell you why these different kind of sounds are important, because certain sounds actually gives you some information on what could be causing your problem as far as these kind of no start situations are concerned. This sound is a buzzing sound coming from under your steering wheel. All right, it's not going to be coming from under the hood. It's not going to be coming from under the hood. It's going to be coming from under your steering wheel. Every time you try to crank it to every time you try to crank it, you don't get a crank, you get a buzzing sound. Now, a lot of people with this particular situation who aren't familiar with what this sounds like, they're going to go and they're going to try to diagnose it as a starter problem. They're going to try to diagnose it as a relay problem. And essentially, what you want to do is, in this situation, you want to isolate where the sound is coming from. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to be able to isolate it 100% completely, because there's always a chance that the sound reverberates through the car, and it could be your starter. If the battery is low enough, your starter could be making a similar kind of sound, but not exactly, because even with a low battery, you might get a slow crank. You don't get a slow crank, you get the solenoid on the starter just rapid clicking. It wouldn't be a buzzing sound. It's more like it's a rapid firing off of clicks, and on the battery on the starter solenoid. Now, normally what happens is, if you just hear like one click, a very faint click, a very faint silent click, you would chances are, if you could hear a faint faint click every time you try to crank it over, it's most probably going to be the relay itself. This situation, that's not the situation that I'm trying to explain in this video. That's not the situation in this particular scenario as far as this situation is concerned. Okay, it's a buzzing sound. It's under the steering wheel. Okay, if you guys get this situation, there's a chance that there is a quick fix that you guys can do to start your car up and take it to wherever you need to take it to, so that you guys could get it fixed, or maybe fixing it yourself. So basically, if you guys have the situation, all right, you guys want to try to crank it, and then try to listen, all right, under the steering wheel. All right, you guys want to listen to that buzzing sound. If it gets louder if you're under there and you try to click it with your hand, you could try to click with your arm, try to crank it, and then listen to it. And if it is under the steering wheel, there's a very, very good chance that it is the ignition switch. All right, it's the ignition switch. Now, if that is the problem, obviously the best situation is to replace it. But if you're stuck in this situation, you don't have anybody to replace it, if you can't replace it, if you don't have if your main means is to actually just get it started and get it home, what you want to do is you want to take something. You want to take something to knock on the end of that ignition switch. All right, you can take the cover off, the bottom cover off the steering wheel neck, and take that off, and you see it. It's not very difficult to figure out what it looks like. All right, that's what it looks like. You want to take something to knock on it while you're cranking it. All right, you want to crank it up while you knock it. You want to have that ignition to the crank position while you're knocking it simultaneously at the same time. All right, if you do that, there's a chance, if you're lucky, there's a chance that you can get your vehicle started and you could drive to wherever you need to drive it to. The only thing that affects is your car's ability to start. You can drive it normally without any problem. So if that is your issue, that's an easy temporary fix to get yourself out of that situation. Just whatever you have that has any amount of weight to it. I know a lot of people don't have anything in their vehicle. If you have a small hammer, if you have what would I think of that people would keep in their car, like, or if you don't have it in your car, if there's a store around you, you could buy a tiny hitting device, a hammer or something. It has to have just a small amount of weight to it where you could actually just knock it a little bit, and then you need to turn it to the crank position and knock it at the same time for it to actually initiate. All right, and then after you get that done, obviously you're going to have to repair it, because you're going to have the same situation coming up over and over and over and over again until you actually replace it. But hopefully this helps you out with your situation. If you guys have any of your own personal experiences with this, definitely leave a comment in the comments section. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Appreciate your time, guys. All right, take care.